Let's talk about voting. Early voting has kicked off in several of the 4 states, and our own Jesse Irwin joins us from the Sooner State, where early voting will kick off this morning. Hey, you're on this camera there, Jesse.
Hey, how you doing, Tanya? Good to see you this morning. I have to tell you, if you're a fan of, well, if you're not a fan of waiting in lines, I mean, I grew up going to amusement parks, so I don't like waiting in lines, but if you're a fan of voting in person, then this, early voting is like the fast pass of voting, and the opportunity starts today in Oklahoma, but it's different from state to state. So let me break this down for you. Here in Oklahoma, things are kicking off this morning. Early in-person voting kicks off for the next 3 days, today and tomorrow from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m., and then Saturday from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. Now in Missouri, the technical term is in-person absentee voting. Since the deadline to request a ballot in the mail has passed, your early voting options to go to your local election authority and apply to vote absentee. Now, it's the same form, and it'll ask you for an excuse. Maybe that's because you can't make it to the polls on election day, or you're an at-risk individual just doing your best to safely navigate the pandemic. But once you fill out that form, you're given your ballot right there, and you fill it out. And when can you do this? Again, today, tomorrow, Saturday until noon, and Monday. And to be safe, just check your local election office for their hours. And then in Kansas, advanced in-person voting is available statewide, and it's actually been available for 2 weeks in some counties. And this is either available at your county election office or at a satellite voting location, especially this weekend in southeast Kansas. So see all of your options through your county clerk's website or just give them a call. But this morning we're hanging out here in Miami, Oklahoma at Buttered Buns Cafe. We're going to be speaking with the Ottawa County Democratic Chair and the Ottawa County Republican Party Chair. We'll have those conversations, and we'll actually a little bit later over on Fox 14, we'll get to check out what's going to be happening in terms of early voting. We'll head over to the polls before they open up.
Okay, so just to recap, you're in Oklahoma, and the type of voting that's kicking off today there is called in-person absentee voting. Now, don't get me wrong, but doesn't that sound a little bit like an oxymoron?
It's all an oxymoron. The whole process, it's early voting. If you would like to vote in person early, your opportunity in Oklahoma starts this morning. Let's just leave it at that. But bring an ID. That's the most important thing. Just have an ID with you, and you'll be good to go.
All right, Jesse, thanks. We'll check back in with you in a little bit.